Bitcoin has had a pretty amazing last 5 days, going up 6% and getting to about 64,400. And this even beats the NASDAQ 100 that actually is only up about 0.5% in the same time. Now, Bitcoin has moved pretty radically, and we've actually seen so far that the Bitcoin and crypto fear and greed index has moved up to a 60. We're actually sitting at greed right now as compared to just the past couple of days in which we were previously at fear. It's amazing how fast things change in the Bitcoin market. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about whales and what whales have been up to and how they've been driving this massive change in the Bitcoin price. So we're going to go ahead and go right into it. So our chart TA right here, I actually have a longer daily chart listed here for Bitcoin's price. And we've seen so far that even with the past couple of days in Bitcoin's price, that it's still on a downtrend. It's basically moving downwards. We've seen a series of lower highs, okay? And we seem to be more headed towards the bottom end of this range right here. Bitcoin did bounce very strongly here at about 57,000 or 56,000, and now it's actually getting near the top of this range here of this downward channel that I've drawn in here. And we're looking at resistance at about 65,000 or so. A breakout here and a confirmation would actually mean that this downtrend would be broken. So that would be honestly very, very bullish for the Bitcoin price. Now, the last time I had chart TA in my chart TA video, I talked about the possibility of Bitcoin actually moving down to about 52,000 in this region right here. And so far, we haven't seen that just yet because there have been a lot of buyers that have come in over the past couple of days to push the price much higher. Now, I myself was waiting for maybe another move lower, a little bit of leg lower, but it's not really surprising to see Bitcoin bounce where it did, given the fact that it was almost oversold on the daily. If you go ahead and take a look at RSI, it went all the way down here to about 33 or so, which, as I said in that last video, was as low as we've seen it since about September of 2023. So Bitcoin having kind of an oversold bounce here, not a huge surprise. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods yet. It's very possible that we could wind up seeing another retest here, this 56, 57, 58,000 range. But if Bitcoin does break out here of this channel and push higher, that would mean, I think, that we could see 70K very, very soon. So it really depends right now with Bitcoin which direction it's going to break to. If it's going to break to the upside and it's going to confirm, then it's entirely possible we'll see 70K. But however, if it doesn't and it continues to stay within this channel, then that would mean that we're definitely coming back for a retest for about 57,000 or so. Now, if we take a look at our Bitcoin liquidation heat map, what we've seen over the past couple of days is that we had a large area of liquidity right here at about 60,900, about $400 million worth of shorts got liquidated right here. And now we're starting to see that there's another region of liquidity here at about 64,900. If Bitcoin can push into that region, 64,000, and go above 65,000, we could see another short squeeze, and the price could move up even higher, like I said here, maybe even to about 70K. When it comes to the spot ETFs, we like to go ahead and take a look at the value.xyz site. That gives us an idea of what the daily inflows for these Bitcoin spot ETFs have been. So for the 3rd of May, we had an increase of 378 million. All right, so that's pretty healthy for Bitcoin. And especially if we take a look at what's been going on at the Hong Kong Bitcoin spot ETF. They have a tracker for that as well. And so far, it holds about 4,000 Bitcoin within those collection of spot ETFs. Now, again, this has been actually a pretty large number given the fact that it just started. It just listed. And so I think that this is also contributing to the recent Bitcoin price move up that we've seen. If we go over here, take a look at the dashboards, and then go down to our net inflow numbers, we can take a look at that. And the net inflow numbers have been very positive over the last couple of days, and we can see here that it's still not quite on par with what we saw on the 30th, that huge withdrawal that we had here of about $563 million, but we're getting back up to that point again. Now, what's interesting about this whole thing is how the Bitcoin whales have been reacting to the Bitcoin price. And I recently took a look at Ki Young Ju. He is one of the founders and CEOs of CryptoQuant, and he recently posted this on X where he said the Bitcoin balances for whale addresses have grown sharply in the past 24 hours. They've said 47,000 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, and that was back on the 3rd of May. In fact, I clicked on the chart here, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this, and this is the balances for the whale addresses. And you guys will notice it's kind of hard to see, but the Bitcoin price, as soon as the Bitcoin price dropped basically below 70K, we saw a huge increase in the number of whales buying Bitcoin. The balances increased dramatically. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this price so you can see this a little bit better. But it increased from about 200,000 or so to where it is right now at about 221,000. So again, this is in Bitcoin. So whales have accumulated over 20,000 Bitcoin in a very, very short time. And you can think from about the 20th of April to about now, they've accumulated a massive amount of Bitcoin. Not a huge surprise, especially when you consider they're looking at the exact same things that we're looking at. They're looking at this chart. They're looking at the RSI. They're looking at this dip and saying, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy that dip and I'm going to hold and we're going to push even higher at some point in the future. And then we're going to wind up selling or DCing out or whatever their plan is going to be. In fact, if we go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin rich list on the BitInfo charts, what you see here is that a lot of the Bitfinex cold wallets and Binance cold wallets have been increasing their Bitcoin positions, especially I want to point out this specific whale here, number 12. So Bitcoin whale number 12 is a very special whale. When we click on this address, we actually see that this whale has been adding about 100 Bitcoin nearly every day, or in fact, sometimes multiple times in a day. Here in the second and third, they had a large number of Bitcoin transactions coming in. And this is a wallet right now that's worth about $4.1 billion currently. So this whale has been accumulating and accumulating like a madman over the past couple of days. I mean, it is just amazing. Now, this wallet they call the Mr. 100 wallet. Okay, this is the whale wallet that holds again now actually over $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. But this is just an example of how some of the whales have looked at this market, because either they put together a plan to buy this kind of Bitcoin at a certain point, at a certain price, or they decided that it's spur of the moment kind of thing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy the dip on this. It remains to be seen. But simply put, if Bitcoin comes back down in this region, again, below 60K, you can imagine that these whales will be buying this dip. So if we do see Bitcoin continue down along this lower channel, whales are going to come in and they're going to buy the dip. And in the cases of some of these whales, they're going to be buying it at 100 Bitcoin a clip. So that is absolutely phenomenal, especially just to know, what the whales have been up to and how they plan on getting into the market and getting out of the market. So far, we haven't seen any sells or any moves, but this is just phenomenal. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the Bitcoin spent output profit ratio, or the SOPR levels. I haven't talked about this in a little while, but given the fact that we had Bitcoin drop dramatically in price under 60K, this gives us an idea of the profitability of these sellers. And so if we add in here the price in black and then the SOPR level in blue, we can actually see the SOPR level when it drops below this one dotted line. That means that sellers are selling at a loss. And so far, we've seen year to date, almost entirely sellers selling in profit. We go over here to sellers selling at a loss. It only dips down on the 30th of April. So it gives you an idea that some of the sellers in that last panic that we had were selling their Bitcoin at a loss. They were panicking. They were getting out as fast as possible. Now we're back to normal levels of about a little over 1. That's all I've got for you guys today. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the Bitcoin whales accumulating and if you actually bought any Bitcoin on this dip. And I will catch you in the next video.